Here it is. Just picked it up this morning. I actually ordered it online last night, and they said it would be 1 or 2 business days before I could get it. And today's a Saturday, and they called me first thing this morning and said, come pick it up. And they actually just put this together yesterday. When I say put together, they just had to install a few things on it, but yeah, it's straight out of the crate. And this is a Cub Cadet ZTXS4 with a 54-inch deck. This lawnmower has 3 blades on it. I did not get the bagger. The bagger for it is like $600. Before I decide whether I'm going to buy a bagger or not, I want to actually see how it works, because I may not need to buy a bagger if the blades on it mulch the grass good enough. On my other mower, that mower, even with mulching blades on it, didn't mulch the grass enough. So after I got through cutting the grass, I would have lines of dead grass, and it's not fun to go out and rake up almost 2 acres of lines of grass. So I will check this out, see how well it works. And another option is they have what are called extreme mulching blades. I don't know the price of those, but I could go to the extreme mulching blades and still may not have to buy a bagger for it. And this thing's already wide enough as it is. I'd prefer not to have a bagger, because if you got the bagger, you're gonna have the hose that runs around the side and goes to the back to the bags. And man, if I can avoid that, I will. This is the steering wheel version. And so with this lawnmower specifically, my slope in my yard is 19 degrees. And buying this mower with a steering wheel and not the laterals that you see common with these 0-turn lawnmowers, the steering wheel is actually connected to the front wheels. If you buy this same mower with the laterals are not attached, or they can't turn the front wheels. Basically the wheels just go whichever way you pull one of the laterals. It's basically going to brake the right side or brake the left side rear tires turn. But this one specifically can handle up to 20 degree slope. And this is not a mower that you would go up and down the yard from top to bottom. You actually drive it sideways, and by having the steering wheel that controls the front wheels, you actually prevent the lawnmower from wanting to turn downward. If you had the lateral controls, the lawnmower would constantly want to turn down the hill. So having the steering wheel and controllable front tires, I can go side to side on my lawn up to 20 degrees slope, and I don't have to worry about getting kicked down towards the bottom of the driveway. It's got some really good tires on it. These are called Turf Master Plus tires. The deck is reinforced, and you can actually step on the deck, and it actually has some non-slip stamped metal here so that you can step on it. With my other mower, you can't step on the deck at all, or you would mess it up. There is an access plate right here. You take that bolt out right there, and you can open it up and access the pulleys and the belt. So in order to adjust the steering wheel, the nice thing is it actually adjusts quite a bit. So you can get in, pull it towards you, and then lift it out of the way as you get on and off the lawnmower. But pull it up, and you can almost put the steering wheel right on your lap. Traction pads on it They're rubberized. They do move around quite a bit, but they do give you traction. You do have a pedal here for lifting and dropping the deck. Fuel capacity, but I think it was like 5 gallons or 5.3 gallons. This does have the ropes on it, so you can put this up for rollover protection, and then you can put it up and down depending on where you plan on storing it. This is a 7000 series engine. It's 24 horsepower. It's a Kohler engine. I think as you go up in price and size, it goes to a different type of engine. The good thing about this one compared to my other one is the other one has the motor in the front and up high. This one has the engine in the back and down low, which does help with the slope conditions. But the reason why you don't use this one on going straight up and down a hill is because if you're going uphill with it, with the engine being in the back, the front end would come up with all the weight being in the back. So this one is not for going up and down hills. You go sideways. You got your cut adjustment, you got your key, and then if you want to go in reverse, you have to put the key here in the yellow position and push this orange button, and then you can go in reverse. And then you've got your parking brake, cup holder. There is a wrench right here. It's actually stored right there. You get your gas pedal going forward, and then your gas pedal going in reverse. The seat is adjustable front to back. If you do come off the seat while operating it, it will shut the engine down. It does have armrests. One of the things I like about this one compared to my other one is the other one has the exhaust in the front, so as you're mowing you actually go into the exhaust, and the nice thing about this one is the exhaust is in the rear, so you're not driving into your exhaust. It does have a tow hitch plate. I'm not sure how strong it'll be, but it does have 2 bolts holding it on underneath. And then because this is all exhaust right here, you do have a plate that prevents you from getting burned on it. There's easy access to the fuel filter, the oil filter, and the oil dipstick. Oil dipstick, fuel filter, and your oil filter. And then right here you have your air filter. The electric starter is right here. Spark plug is right there. You've got all of your throttle linkage right there. And then your second spark plug right there. The seat sits on a plate right there that's just above the fuel tank, and the seat does have some shock absorbers, but they're just basically plastic cushions. You can see they kind of compress some. But at least there's some kind of shock absorbency on it, rather than just being hard as a rock where you feel everything. In order to lift the deck, you have to push this pedal, and when you push the pedal, the deck will go up and down freely. But if you notice, the pedal went up and down freely and it didn't lock it at the top. Well, in order to lock it at the top, this knob right here has to be here, not here. Having it here allows the deck to go up and down with the foot pedal without locking in place. If you put it there and then I push the pedal down, it locks it at the top. But you could just pull this and it'll drop the deck down. Leave it there and put it there. Put it there and push the pedal at any time, it'll lock it in place. But if you just want to be able to control the deck as you're mowing the lawn, and you see something that you need to lift the deck for, you can just lift it real quick and then put it back down. This is your cut height adjustment knob. The knob will not turn unless the deck is up. If the deck is down, it won't turn at all. So because it's up right now, so let's just say I put that knob there and I put it down, now the knob will not turn. So lock it in place, make your adjustment however high you want your grass. You can go down to 1 or up to 4.5. Here is your throttle. So here it's low. If you push it up, it goes into high. If your throttle is sitting back here, right here is the knob that engages your blades to start cutting, and you would pull up on it to get the blades to go. But if your throttle is here, you don't want to engage the blades because it's almost like it's gonna die. So make sure that you turn your throttle up some or all the way and then engage your blades. Right here is your brake. So if you move it forward, the tractor is gonna unlock and move. Here are some things to note on the parking brake. So if the parking brake is all the way to the back, it is in the locked position, which means the parking brake is engaged. If the tractor is not running and I move the lever to the unlock position, the tractor is not going to move, or it's not going to move because it's not running, but also you can't move it manually if it's here. But if you needed to move it while it's not running, then what you do is you grab this black lever here, pull it out a little bit, pull it to the rear, and then push it to the right, and then you can move the tractor. And you can move it forward or backwards. And all that does is disengage the transmission so that you can move it. Something else to note is, let's just say you're driving, you're on a flat surface, you turn the key off, and after you turn the key off, you leave the tractor in the unlocked position. And then some other time you come out, put the key in, go to start it, and it won't start. The reason why it won't start is because you can't start it if it's in the unlocked position. So you have to move it back to the lock position, then turn the key to start it. You can see here I'm sitting in the seat, and you can see how far out the steering wheel will go, and then you can see how far it comes in as well. There are LED lights on the front, and they come on every time you turn the key on. I don't know if they're really headlights. They're probably more like marker lights than anything else. This wrench right here you can use it for this bolt right here. There you go. I mean, really nothing complicated, but it does give you access to the top of the deck for your belts and pulleys. And this is hinged, and you can remove it completely if you need to. I think I already mentioned it, but you got a pretty deep cup holder there, and then you got a little bin right here. Not too impressed with the seat. I mean, the back, it's definitely got some padding, so it'll definitely help with hitting bumps and stuff as far as comfort. But as you can see already, I've only sat on it one time and the bottom portion's coming off. But the other thing is, this piece on the bottom is very loose compared to the top piece. As far as moving the ropes up and down, you just grab this pin right here and then turn it to the right so that it locks right here, and you can see there's a smaller pin inside there that goes into that little notch, and then go over to the other side, same thing, pull it out, turn it to the right, and then now it can be moved freely, or you can move it to one of the other locking points. So you can lock it there, you can lock it there, or you can lock it all the way up. Once you get it up or put it in the position you want it, just rotate it out and push it back in. It's really tight right now because it's new. If you need to access the battery, the way you do it is push down on one or both of these little ends right here on this locking lever. And when you push it down, once you push it down, then you can push the seat forward, which gives you access to underneath the seat. You get the fuel tank, and you have a 12-volt battery. Very small battery. You can see where the sensor is. It goes directly up under the seat, so if you come out of the seat, it'll kill the ignition. Not that big of a deal because it's easily fixable. This is the flap on the back of the seat that needs to be locked underneath so that the bottom seat cover will stay on the seat. Yeah, there's a little bar that goes across here that this locks onto. It's on there now. Hopefully it won't pop back off. The lever for adjusting the seat forward and back is very discreet and slender, but it is right here. And if you pull it to the left, you move the seat forward and back. Yeah, so it's almost like you don't even know it's there, but it's sitting right there. Gotta love it. Drove the lawnmower about 300 feet and ran out of gas. I guess nowadays don't count on having the oil filled or the gas filled because of the cost. But again, you would think that for as much as you pay for the lawnmower, you get a tank full of gas, and they would put the proper amount of oil in the lawnmower. But there must have been like 2 or 3 ounces of fuel in it, and the oil was not full. So just be aware of that when you buy a lawnmower. Here are some initial thoughts on operating this mower. I do love the steering wheel as far as you know, adjusting it and getting on and off of the tractor. It's great that you can just pull up on it and the steering wheel will go forward, so it's not in your way. Not very comfortable yet. I mean, I just started using it, but I'm not very comfortable yet doing a side slope cut versus a up and down type cut, because even though it has a steering wheel and the wheels are controlled by the steering wheel, it did seem like it still was trying to kick out down the hill a little bit. But at the same time, I'm just not comfortable because I'm used to using this lawn tractor, and this thing was very uncomfortable to use going side to side on the lawn versus going up and down. This one did great going up and down as long as it wasn't wet, or the grass wasn't wet. But this one, going to take it a little bit getting used to. I did notice that there's more maneuverability, not so much because it's a zero turn, but because this one actually has pretty good steering even though it's not a zero turn. But This one, you can definitely move it around and, you know, backtrack to a spot you may have missed without having to do a full go down the hill and come back up, because that would be the case with this lawnmower. Is if I missed something, I would have to go down the hill and then come back up the hill just to get that spot that I missed. But this one, pretty good at being able to move around, especially on the side slope. The zero turn is great because you can definitely put this mower where you need it. Even though I went from a 46 deck to a 54 deck, I'm glad I didn't go any bigger, because down where I have all these trees in my lower yard, if the deck had been any bigger, it would have been difficult to maneuver between the trees and around the trees. So, and I couldn't have gone that much bigger. It would have been, the next up would have been 60. This is a 54. You can definitely tell that it's a new lawnmower because you can smell the paint and the metal and everything getting hot. And it's got that new smell. It just smells like paint and everything is cooking. Oh, the one thing that, I mean, I had this issue with this one, and this is a hydrostatic transmission, and this one has a hydrostatic transmissions on it. But this one, if the grass is wet, I would get a lot of skidding on the grass, downhill or uphill, but especially going downhill, trying to brake. This one has a brake. This one doesn't have a brake. It has a parking brake, but not a brake. The way that it brakes is just taking your foot off the gas pedal. This one has a gas pedal, but it also has a brake pedal on the left. But this one skids quite a bit. So on the steeper portions of my property over there where it's the steepest, the back tires were skidding quite a bit. So I've got skid marks down that side, and I don't really like that because it takes a while for it to grow back. And then when there's dirt exposed in my yard, the rain takes advantage of that and washes away a lot of the dirt. So I tried to avoid braking hard on the grass or skidding, just to avoid having all that erosion from exposed dirt. That's pretty much it for now. I mean, I only used it for a little while. I do like it. I like it. I like this one definitely better than this one. Oh, and that's the other thing, is you can definitely feel the power in this one compared to this one. Yeah, you can definitely feel it, especially when you engage the blades. You can really feel it. This one does have 3 blades, and this one only has 2 blades. This lawn tractor does not have the rollover protection system, and because it doesn't, getting used to it on this lawnmower is I'm gonna have to be more aware of it, because there are some trees down there because of the slope and the trees going straight up and down. When I get close to the trees, the ROPS gets awfully close to hitting the trees, so I may have to put it down some when I'm cutting in the lower lawn, because I actually did bang a couple of trees because I'm not used to having this rollover protection system. If the lawnmower is running and you've got the key in the green position and you've got the blades going, if you want to go in reverse, you have to turn the key to the yellow position and push the button. That is only when the blades are going. So if you turn the blades off and you push the reverse pedal, the mower will go in reverse. So if you never engage the blade deck, you can go forward and reverse without having to make any adjustments over here.